What's up, man? What's up, y'all boys, bro? We back in this bitch with another video. Yo, man, you know obviously coming, bro. Duck quack when oh shit, let me fix cover right quick. I need him to be poof. But yeah, as you see, man, we in this bitch with another video, bro. I got the cane on. I want y'all to see everything. I want y'all to see everything, bro, but not too much of everything. So we going back up a little bit. But look, man, we in the library with it. As you can see, man, y'all might see some people walking by. I don't know, man. If you see them making eyes at me, then you feel me? You already know what's going on. But look, man, you're hearing this comment, you're seeing this comment, you know. But look, man, we're reacting to Mizkif and Emiru, the Twitch streamers. Hey, man, some shit been going down on a con, nigga. Some shit been going down on the con, but you know we gotta check it out. But look, man, it's a 23-minute video. I don't know how long we're gonna get into it, but we're gonna get into it. So let's get right into it.
Career-ending allegations have been brought against Mizkif,
Career.
very well-known streamer from another top streamer, Emiru, who's also been in the news this last week because they were SA'd at TwitchCon. But getting back to what we're talking about in this video, Emiru has made a lot of allegations toward Mizkif, and they're all horrific. Emiru directly accused him of psychological and domestic abuse, stalking, harassment, threats of blackmail, and SA. Now, she covered this all in about an hour and a half on a stream from today, and so I watched that entire thing. I'm going to break down the key points for it for you guys so you can understand what's going on. First things first, apologies if my mic is getting moved around a lot. My mic arm broke, so I have to hold this while I'm going over all this. We're going to start first with this Dexerto article talking about this, simply because I want to give anybody who isn't aware of who these people are a little bit more context down here. So Emiru and Mizkif were previously in a relationship and lived together in Austin, Texas, close to other streamers, part of the OTK One True King streaming organization. They were together with that. A lot of people that have just kind of like been aware of Twitch, and if you've kind of seen it here or there, or clips that have, you know, surfaced on the internet, there's a very good chance that you've seen Mizkif. He's been a very big streamer for quite some time now. And
I've seen a couple about it. I've seen some shit about him.
Public about being in a
relationship. Is he the nigga that don't like
people suspected as much, being that they were in the same house. And of course, Emiru confirms this, talking about what she talked about today. Now, with that little bit of context out of the way, I want to show you guys the intro that Emiru gave talking about this on her stream.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail.
Blackmail? What the boy? Hey, I like her room though, bro. She got all these plushies, Kirby, but she a Kirby fan. I fuck with it. I like her lashes, but them bitches long as hell. I like my bitches with long lashes. You get me? You feel me, bro? You know, long lashes. You know what that means? You know, I'm sure.
That Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all.
Ah, damn it, bro. Nobody want to play no ZKO, whatever this bitch is, bro. Get it off my screen, nigga.
And not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing.
Now, obviously, those are not light allegations. Those are some pretty heavy accusations to be thrown in Mizkif's way. Now, during this stream, I think they mentioned it a couple of times, but they let their stream know that they have consulted their lawyer before even coming forward with this, and they spoke with them before they went live and are sharing any of this. But continuing on, she goes into why she's talking about this now. And it has to do with the fact that she was told by some other content creators that he had done something similar to another individual, another woman, and now she kind of feels an obligation to get this information out there and make sure that nobody goes through what she had to go through.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand what prompted me to do this today.
She got the girlies in the chat with her. You know it's over with.
Like that. I was
you know it's
by
over
3
with,
separate
boy.
People,
this
one
nigga
of who
canceled.
Was present for said incident. He had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and to someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously
not an ad, but get your propel.
And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything.
Following up after that, she ends up talking about her move from where she originally was living alone in Kansas over to living with Mizkif in Texas. And this is where she confirms that, yes, as most people had figured out, they had a relationship during that time.
A lot of people already know this, but I'm just going to come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022 after I joined OTK. I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because
Is she reading
it
something?
honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only
I
things
feel
that
like
really
if you're
matter
talking, it should be coming
that you
from the
guys need
heart.
to
You get what I'm
know
saying?
for the
Like all this
story
should
are
be
that
off
it
the
was
dome,
one,
not
an
reading
extremely private
something. You get what I'm
relationship. It was
saying?
even
Even though
hidden from
everything you should say
friends and
still
people on the
might be
board, but I
true,
mean, obviously
but it's
people
just
all
it's just
eventually
something
figured it
about the
out. They're
human
not
can make
fucking
it.
stupid. And second,
Oh,
it was
is she
an
bad as hell?
extremely codependent relationship.
I think obviously it's important to make that clarification and make sure we're all on the same page about them having a relationship, that it was
Oh, boy, I
codependent,
seen
that
one
they
of them
were very
ones,
much
bro. But I got a
relying on
duck
each
hat
other. I think
on,
it
bro.
just
You know
helps
what that
provide a bit
means,
of
bro. Yeah,
context
bro.
and
Counsel the
understanding
game,
for
bro.
the
Counsel
following
the
claims
game.
and how they
Coach out
came to
right
be,
now, bro.
like the domestic abuse,
I might
etc. Now
hoop
you can
later
expect at the
if I
time, of
catch
course,
her.
Mizkif was a lot bigger than Emiru was, and so going over there and then now getting into a relationship, there's clearly a power dynamic there, you know, tied to their work, things like that. All that to say that she makes a point that other people have noticed or were assuming that this is what was going to be the content of this stream, that Mizkif was incredibly controlling.
The start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret.
I hope nobody
think
come pick
everyone
me
who
out,
paid
bro. I ain't gonna
attention
lie, right?
knew
We're gonna
that
be
he
fucked.
was very controlling over what I wore.
Hey, I'm listening to the
To a
reaction, bro. I'm
degree,
just
who I was friends with,
preparing
and
myself for when I do
even
get
when
kicked
I would
out.
stream.
And so that leads into her talking about one of these first instances where Mizkif was throwing things at her, throwing bottles at her. More than that, also
what?
Where Mizkif was throwing things at her, throwing bottles at her. More than that,
Damn,
also
bro.
throwing
Grown
his
men
phone at
throwing
her.
bottles
It was
at a
definitely
woman. What are
slow
we
over
doing?
time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye,
never gonna
which
see
caused
that
me to
girl
get a black
again, bro.
eye. But
On my life, I'm not,
he
bro.
always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like at the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries.
Now, in regard to this black eye specifically, we actually have a post from Livestream Fail. All of this has been coming out in just a few short hours
Stream from around
after she
August
went live with this.
22nd, where
Stream
some
from
viewers have
around
noticed
August of
Emeru's black
2022,
eye,
where
likely
some
from
viewers
bottle
have
incident
noticed
discussed today.
Emeru's black eye, likely from the bottle incident discussed today. And so she
Y'all
actually talks about
boys are
getting a
some
black eye, and then
fucking
towards the end of it, she
FBI agents,
accidentally
nigga.
alt
God
tabs,
damn.
and people clipped the alt tab that she had done, and it revealed this photo, what looks to be her, and showing the black eye. They zoomed into it. Again, this isn't confirmed. It's just what people are suspecting. It
Dang,
falls
bro,
in line with
that's
the
some
timeline.
shading, cuz.
Talks about having a black eye. It just kind of like fits in all of those parameters, and then this photo showed up in that alt tab. Emiru ends up bringing up the Mizkif cover-up allegations. For those who don't know, if you just do a search, Mizkif got canceled a couple years back, having to do with the fact that it looked like he covered up for a friend of
Hey, man, if
his
somebody
who
pop
had,
in
I
this
believe,
building and
SA'd
try to get
another
us out, bro,
individual.
we're
He
gonna have to
ended
end
up
the
going to
video. You know
court
how
for
it
it, and it's
goes,
been
but
this
look, I
huge
will
thing.
do
The
it.
reason that ties in is, of course, Emiru was with him at the time, and
Everything's
she ended
starting
up
to get a
trying to
little
help him, but
lava.
she noticed that very clearly at around this time, due to what she assumes to be the stress of everything going on, he kind of snaps. This is when things start getting really bad for Emiru. But to start things off, and this really just goes into Mizkif being incredibly insecure about himself from what Emiru is talking about, she goes into detail talking about even more controlling behaviors that he was exhibiting, like not allowing them to stream at the same time.
He never wanted to stream at the same time as me.
Like, viewers.
We really avoided it. And to me at the time, it made sense because, you know, I was like, well, of course, like, you know, we share a lot of community members.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is
if we're live at separate times, we're both going to perform better. You know, it makes sense. Yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time. With the exception of, like, things like events or sponsors or, like, you know, just special things.
Now, this goes on like this for a couple years until the first stream that Emery's saying that they ended up doing together was for a Rust event, a game called Rust. And she's going to explain a bit about this, but we actually have clips from that event that end up corroborating the story that she's about to tell us.
The first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch.
I'm gonna put y'all on my back, bro. I promise. How you doing? I'm gonna put y'all on my back. Okay, man. Fail. But I read the whole play wrong. Look, bruh. Look, man. I thought she was going to the left. I went to the left. She's going into the room to the right. Yeah, feel me, gang. I coach called the wrong play. She had her whiteboard with her. She wanted to get out quick, bruh. That's on to the next, gang. On to the next.
We were sharing drops. So it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing.
Damn, bro, and I
I
had
know
a
you're
duck
probably
shit.
like, what the fuck's that to do with anything? But it'll make sense in a bit. So I'm live. He's live. We're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public. There are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event. I start seeing in my chat people start saying unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me saying like, Emmy, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. Basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him. He starts messaging me. He's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's like wondering where you are. He ended his stream.
All right, but that's my time. That's my time.
I'm still live, trying to act like
Look,
nothing's
man,
wrong.
I'ma say this is it for the video, but the reaction was great. The reaction was great. But I have to go. Somebody booked the thing. Look, that's it. Y'all caught it all on camera.